Chapter 5. Building the Fundraising Machine. Your Resource Development Plan. In the last chapter, you and your board co-created a unified strategic plan. You built the what. Now, we must build the engine to power it. This is the moment many founders dread, but for you, the facilitator, it is the most exciting part of your journey. This is where the vision becomes viable. Resource development is not just about asking for money. It is the art of strategically acquiring all the assets your mission needs to thrive, from funding and materials to in-kind donations and volunteer talent. And this plan doesn't start with strangers. It starts with the leaders in the very room you're sitting in. The Resource Development Planning Session, your step-by-step guide. It's time to reconvene your full board for this dedicated planning session. It is critical that every board member participates. When they help build the fundraising plan, they will feel a personal responsibility to see it succeed. As the facilitator, your job is to guide the discussion through these key steps. Step: define the resource goals, the what and why. First, you cannot hit a target you haven't defined. You must guide your board to get crystal clear on what you need and why you need it. On a whiteboard, create 3 columns and facilitate a discussion to fill them out. The goal. Based on a strategic plan, what is the total amount of funding? The specific materials, like laptops or office furniture, and the key in-kind services, like pro bono legal help or printing services, we need in the next 12 months. The purpose. Where exactly will these resources go? Be specific. Let's hear examples like $50,000 for program staff, 10 laptops for the youth center, or pro bono marketing support for our gala. The timeline. By when do we need each resource? Let's break it down by quarter. Step 2. Identify funding sources. The where. This next step is crucial for creating buy-in. Do not list the sources yourself. Your role is to ask the board powerful, open-ended question. Looking at our goals, where do you all believe these resources could come from? Give every board member sticky notes and have them brainstorm every possible source they can think of. Let them post their ideas on the whiteboard. After everyone has contributed, you will then facilitate a process to consolidate their ideas into 4 concentric circles of influence, starting from the inside and moving out. The inner circle, the board itself. 2. The next circle, the board's immediate network. 3. The community circle, the organization's existing donor database. 4. The outer world, new prospects, individuals, foundations, and corporations. By letting them brainstorm first, they will see that these categories came from their own ideas, creating immediate ownership of the process. Step 3. Craft strategy. How? Now that you know what you need and where it might come from, this is where you guide the board to build a step-by-step process for each funding source. A. The cultivation cycle for the board's network. Relationship mapping. This is your highest priority after board giving. This is a systematic 8-step process for turning a board member's connection into a supporter. You must explain that fundraising is about relationship building, and this cycle is their roadmap. 1. The warm introduction. The board member makes a personal introduction via email or phone, connecting the prospect with you, the founder. 2. The discovery call. You then have a 15-minute call with the prospect with the sole purpose of learning about their interests. No ask is made. 3. The value touchpoint. You follow up by sending a relevant article or your newsletter to provide value. The invitation. Next, you invite them to a low-commitment event, like a program tour or a virtual insiders briefing. 5. The permission-based pre-ask. You then call to thank them for their time and ask for permission to send a formal proposal. Say, based on our conversation, I believe we have a project that aligns perfectly with your interests. Would you be open to me sending a brief proposal for your review? 6. The team. Ask. You and the original board member meet with the prospect to make a formal request for support. This team ask is incredibly powerful. 7. The immediate thank you. A personal thank you call from a different board member within 48 hours of the gift is a crucial step. 8. The impact report. Finally, 6 months later, you send a one-page report showing the specific impact of their gift, closing the loop and setting up the next gift. B. The strategic approach for major gift donors, 1,000 plus. Major gifts require patient, personal relationship building. Guide your board to understand this is a long-term strategy. The cultivation cycle for a major donor often involves a more personalized 7-step sequence. 1. Identification and research. Who are the potential donors in our mapped networks or community with the capacity and interest to give a major gift? 2. The peer-to-peer introductory touchpoint. A personal email or note from a board member who has a connection. The goal is simply to get on their radar. 3. The cultivation touchpoint. Invite them for a get-to-know-you coffee or a brief one-on-one with the founder. No ask involved. This is purely about learning their story. The insider. Touchpoint. Send them a high-level update, not available to the general public, or invite them to a small, exclusive insiders briefing event with you and the board chair. 5. The pre-ask touchpoint. A phone call to ask for permission to send a proposal. We have a project I think you'd be very interested in. Would you be open to me sending over a brief proposal for your review? The formal ask. One-on-one meeting. In person if possible, with the founder and the board member to formally ask for their investment in the organization. 7. The stewardship touchpoint. A multi-step thank you process that includes a personal call from another board member, a handwritten note from a program participant, and a detailed report on the impact of their gift 6 months later. C. The strategic approach for corporate and business partners. Companies give for different reasons than individuals. Guide the board to understand you must create a business case for partnership. 1. Prospecting. Identify local and regional companies whose values and customer base align with your mission. 2. Find the connection. Use the board's network and LinkedIn to find an internal champion at the company. Warm introduction is critical. 3. The partnership pitch. Schedule a meeting to present a partnership opportunity, not a donation request. Frame it around their marketing goals, employee engagement, and corporate social responsibility (CSR) objectives. The formal proposal. Submit customized sponsorship proposal with clear benefits, activation opportunities, and different partnership tiers. 5. Activation and recognition. Fulfill your promises meticulously and recognize their support publicly to showcase the value of the partnership. D. The strategic approach for grants. Grant funding is a systematic process, not a lottery. It requires precision and planning. 1. Research and alignment. Use tools like Candid or GrantStation to build a calendar of foundations whose giving priorities and funding cycles perfectly match your programs. 2. Relationship building. Before writing, attempt to connect with the Foundation's program officer via brief introductory email or phone call to ensure alignment. 3. Compelling proposal. Write a powerful grant proposal using a template from your toolkit, tailored to the specific language and priorities of the Foundation. 4. Follow-up and reporting. Submit the proposal on time and be prepared to provide detailed, timely reports on your outcomes if you are funded. Strong reporting is key to securing a second grant. Step 4. The Fundraising Touchpoint Library. Now that the strategies are clear, you can facilitate a discussion about the specific tools you will use. Present this library of touchpoints to the board and explain that these are the methods you will employ to execute the cultivation cycles you just designed. 1. Initial contact, personalized emails, LinkedIn messages, warm introduction calls. 2. Cultivation and nurturing, one-on-one coffee meetings, program site visits, inside briefing events, high-value newsletters, personal notes, phone calls, with no ask. 3. Making the ask. In-person meetings, formal proposals, video calls, fundraising events, appeal letters, direct mail, email. 4th, stewardship and retention. Thank you calls from board members, handwritten notes from program participants, impact reports, donor appreciation events, public recognition, with permission. Step 5. Building the fundraising team. The who. Next, you'll ask the board, looking at this plan, what skills do we need on our execution team? Guide them to list the roles needed. A grant writer, a social media manager, a graphic designer, an appointment setter, etc. Recommend that you start by recruiting skilled volunteers for these roles, with the plan to upgrade these positions to paid staff as revenue increases. Then, you make the direct invitation. Which part of this execution plan are you passionate about joining? Would anyone like to be part of the new fundraising team? Step 6. Assembling the fundraising materials, the arsenal. Now you facilitate a brainstorm to list all the materials and systems you will need to execute the plan. Your toolkit contains templates for many of these. The list should be divided into clear categories. 1. Internal tools, the relationship mapping form, the 100% board giving pledge form, a CRM donor database to track relationships. 2. Prospecting tools, a compelling case for support document, a master grant proposal template, a corporate sponsorship deck. 3rd, campaign materials, appeal letters for both print and digital, social media content templates, and stories of transformation, one-pagers. 4th, essential systems, an email marketing platform, and a reliable donation processing system. Step 7. Creating the fundraising budget, the investment. Finally, guide the board to create a budget for the plan itself. Remind them that fundraising is an investment, not an expense. The costs to consider include software subscriptions, CRM, email, printing and mailing costs, donor research tools, and eventually the salary for a professional fundraiser. The moment of commitment, the founders ask. After you have facilitated this entire planning process, when the goals are clear, the strategies are defined, and the budget is on the whiteboard, this is the perfect moment to secure your board's personal commitment. You can use this script. Thank you all for this incredible work. We have just created a powerful, achievable roadmap to fully fund mission. You can see the budget right here. This is the investment we need to make to get started. The most powerful way to kickstart this plan is for us, the leaders in this room, to make the first investment ourselves. This isn't just about the money, it's about our collective belief in this plan. It's the vote of confidence that will inspire every other donor to follow. My request today is for 100% board participation. After this meeting, I will be sending each of you a board giving pledge form and a relationship mapping form. I ask that you prayerfully consider your personal gift and fill out both forms, returning them to me within 1 week, so we can launch this plan from a position of unified strength. Conclusion. From plan to action. You have just facilitated a process that does more than create a plan. You have forged a team. By building this resource development plan together, your board members now have a deep personal sense of ownership over the financial health of the organization. They are no longer passive observers. They are investors, connectors, and strategic partners. The fear and awkwardness around fundraising have been replaced by the clarity and confidence that come from a shared system. This is the engine that will power your mission forward. Your job now is to facilitate its execution, one step at a time. Toolkit Resource Note. You can find the adaptable templates for the 100% board giving pledge form and the relationship mapping form, along with a sample email to send them to your board on the download page for this material.